Welcome back, fourth graders. I hope that after our review yesterday, all those things are coming back to you now about our figures of speech. We had this journal from Honey Rose, and we only had to find one of each of these items down here: a personification, a simile, onomatopoeia, and there were two alliterations. So in her journal, when you think of alliterations with the same first sound, those were in yellow. Silently, or so strange, sand surfing silently Saturday. The same sound, which is often the same letter, but not always. So alliterations, there were two of. Then with like or as, two things being compared. Daisy May was like, being compared with like or as, a surfboard. Daisy May was like a surfboard. That was in blue because that was our simile. We only had one onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a sound word, so we had that oof as she fell. Sound words, onomatopoeia, remember they imitate or are used to describe a sound, like bang, or like in this case, oof, as she fell. And finally, personification, that's when something acts like a person. Remember, person in personification. You give them human qualities for non-human things. So in this case, a hot air balloon. Well, hot air balloon is not a person, but yet we described it as huffed and puffed, like a person would huff and puff. So hopefully you did well with that, and now you're back up to speed with our figures of speech and this whole unit we've had now on figurative language. We're now going to move on to our sixth post-it note. So if you'd get another post-it note to stick on this page, notice I've gone on to the back side of the page before. We're up to our sixth figure of speech. This one is pronounced hyperbole. Hyperbole. Let's practice saying this together on three. Hyperbole. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right. Hyperbole. Now that your mic is off, say it to yourself over and over out loud. Hyperbole, hyperbole, hyperbole. So we have 6 now figures of speech. So let's find out what then is hyperbole. You would think we've covered all the possible figures of speech, and yet there's another one. So let's see what is hyperbole.
Hyperbole is a literary device that uses exaggeration to make a point. Here is an example. The Dodgers pitcher must have been throwing 800 miles per hour yesterday because we just couldn't hit him. This statement is hyperbole because nobody can throw a baseball 800 miles per hour. It is clearly an exaggeration. However, this hyperbolic statement or exaggeration does make the point that the Dodgers pitcher was throwing the ball hard.
So let's take a minute to get that written down on our post-it note. Hyperbole, it says, is when you use exaggeration to make a point. Like in the case of that baseball pitcher throwing 800 miles per hour, it's not possible. That's exaggeration. But it paints this picture in our mind, because remember, figurative language is giving color and interest and helping us picture things. We can picture it in our mind when they use hyperbole. 800 miles per hour is extremely fast, even though it's not possible. It's an exaggeration. We now understand how fast that pitcher is throwing the ball. So we're going to listen to a little bit of a story here and pause every once in a while for you to try to find the hyperbole, to find the exaggerations. What exaggerations do you hear? So we'll go for a little bit and then we'll pause, and you can talk amongst your class about what exaggerations did you hear? What hyperbole did you notice?
Dude, yesterday I played the best video game in the history of the world. What game? What game is that? Dude, no game in the universe can rival it. Okay, I get it, alright? What game? Dude, the whole world is playing this game. It's so lit. For the millionth time, what game are you talking about?
So let's pause there and let's see if you can pick out a couple of the exaggerations. See if you can, as a class, find some of the hyperbole. The storyteller uses a lot of exaggeration. To start off with, to say that this game is the best game in the history of the world, that's hyperbole, that's exaggeration. And then to go on and say that the whole universe is playing this game, that again is exaggeration. Exaggeration is hyperbole. Let's go on then and find some more hyperbole, some more exaggeration in this story. We left off with the storyteller saying for the millionth time, as if they really told them a million times. That also is hyperbole. For the millionth time, he tells him. I'm also kind of curious what game he thinks is the best game in the history of the world. So let's watch on a little bit more.
Are you talking about? I'm talking about Among Us. You like that stupid game? Dude, cry me a river. You love Fortnite. Now that game is ancient history. Why on earth are you not playing Among Us?
So there we have it. Among Us is, in his opinion, the best game in the history of the world. And his friend thinks that Fortnite is a great game. And so they're kind of arguing back and forth about this. So you see on the screen here, a hyperbole then is not to be taken literally. Remember that word literal? It went along with literal language, where words mean exactly what they say. Hyperbole is not to be taken literally. Hyperbole is figurative language. It's an exaggeration. It's something that's not what it says it is. So let's watch a few more examples here of what hyperbole is. Now that you have an idea of what hyperbole is, our sixth figure of language, make sure you have that posted in your notes. You're going to go on to Canvas and find an assignment there where you're going to once again locate or identify or find hyperbole. All right, good luck. We will see you tomorrow.